Hey, what's good, man? It's J Boog back at it again with another video today. We're not in the usual spot, you know what I'm saying, and I'm dolo, but it's going to be a good episode today. I miss the guys. Hope everybody doing good, man. God bless. But today's episode, we're going to be talking about love, man. And Nick, not the way you think about it, but yeah, let's get to it real quick. All right, bruh. So I asked a couple of my friends and some people what they thought, like, when they heard the word love. Feel me? Because I think a lot of people was missing some. You know what I mean? So let me go over you some of the responses of the people. All right, so one person said, I think it's more action. It's a choice and a set of choices that shows your devotion to someone to take sacrifice as well as change the small parts of my life to make the relationship work better. All right, got a little deep. It's gonna get deeper though. Another one of the homies said, I would say I think of loyalty, honesty, effort, genuine concern, someone supporting you and your best interest despite what you feel like doing, excuse me, or what you want to hear. Corinthians 13:4-8 said, really puts it in good perspective. Someone who shows care, interest in you, and likes you, who you are, and not what superficial things you represent or bring to their lives. Someone who's willing to tell you when you are wrong and being unhinged. Someone that's in your corner when you're losing and not just when you're winning. Facts. I think in simplest terms, it's like when you look at someone and you just want them to be happy. And like you don't want anything to ever hurt them or bother them or inconvenience them. You just want them to have an easy time. When I look at my friends who I love, like I just want them to get their flowers all the time, be successful, be happy, and have their life fulfilled. All right. Friends too. Next person said, I think of enjoying every aspect of another human being so deeply intrigued by everything new you learn about them, almost like opening gifts on Christmas, except the gift is getting to experience another person made in God's image. A whole life separate from your own, a story you haven't read. It's abundantly beautiful. Also, honesty is a word I think about when I hear the word love. Action is like a gentle kiss on the forehead. Aww, type shit. And last one, the word that comes to mind for me is commitment. Other homeboy said patience and understanding. So they kind of was no, they definitely, everybody that said something and responded was in 100% right. Especially my homeboy Mike when he said about that Bible verse, because that's what we kind of getting into, but y'all gonna see. So if I was to ask you, what do you think about when you hear the word love? Like, what comes to mind? Right? For me, all the above. Everything everybody said, 100%. But I feel like there's definitely more to it than what other people think or they don't want to think about. So I remember I was watching Leo Skeppy podcast. Shout out to Leo. And fucking love that dude. He be keeping it a buck. But he responded to a question about a relationship. And he said something, I can't remember the actual question itself, but he said something along the lines of that man wants to see how much you would suffer for him. And that kind of like opened, like, and he was telling the girl to leave the guy, and because there was a whole bunch of other shit. So understandable. Definitely leave somebody who's making your life a living hell. But it made me really like think a little bit. So the question is like, can love be associated with pain and suffering? Is love pain? The reason I'm saying that though, like before you even like go raging and doing all the bullshit and looking at me side eye, like just hear me out. It's like hear me out. I don't even know 100% if this shit is even accurate or not. But this is just what I've been kind of like playing with the last week. And the reason I say that, right? So let's go. And by no means am I a preacher. I'm not trying to preach to y'all. You know what I'm saying? This is just, I believe in God. I have a relationship with God. So I'm going to go refer to the Bible a little bit. here and there when it talks about love and stuff like that, and also my opinions, other people's opinions. So don't fucking get your panties in a bunch. Feel me? So I'm gonna go to Corinthians 13:4-5. And everyone usually brings this Bible verse up like this is the love. Like this is the definition of love. You know what I'm saying? Like this is what love is. So let's go there real quick. Follow me if y'all want. If not, rewind and hear what I said last time. Corinthians 13:4-5. Alright. Well, to be completely clear, it's 1 Corinthians. So it says, love is patient, love is kind, it is not envy, it is not boast. It is not proud. It does not dishonor others. It is not self-seeking. It is not easily angered. It keeps no record of wrongs. And then, there's other things about it. But that's what the Bible's saying about love. But if y'all, really do a little research, too, there's more. Right? Like John 3:16. For God so loved the world, he gave his only begotten son. He loved us so much that he sacrificed his only son. Is that not pain? Did Jesus not suffer when he was out here? I mean, he was heartbroken a couple times by his homeboys and his and people. He took the craziest type of suffering you can get physically. Anyway, the Romans was good at that for some reason. They knew how to torture somebody. You know what I'm saying? So it's like he endured all that type of pain for our suffering, or he did all that suffering, and because he loved us, the ultimate price. He literally died. That's the most suffering you could do for love. In the name of love of somebody. You die for them. Or, because maybe is dying easy to y'all? Do y'all think y'all could die for somebody? Because in my opinion, I think it might be, it's a little harder to live for somebody. Because it's a continuous suffrage. Or do you think living for somebody is just as equivalent as dying for somebody? Because if Jesus died for us, we're living for him. Or one of your homeboys dies and you live in y'all dreams together, his dream for him, even though it's both suffering. Let me know in the comments what you think about that. Which one's harder, or is it similar? It's in the same category type shit. But I do, going back to that whole comment about with Leo Skeppy, I agree definitely. If someone's making your life hell purposely, they cheating on you and they fucking maxing out your credit cards, beating your ass, no matter what it is, that's when I think you definitely leave that relationship, because they're intentionally making you suffer. But if it's maybe y'all are arguing, y'all are going through financial situations and shit like that. I was talking to a homegirl the other day, her and her man, they began into it, and there's been a point where she didn't even like him, but she was still sticking together because certain shit that happened in their relationship, and it makes sense. And then if you think about a lot of old school marriages, they don't like each other sometimes, but you got y'all work through it. Y'all suffering right then and there. Y'all just working towards getting back to how it was, and eventually she did. She's not back. I started liking him again. I never lost love for him. I started liking him again. Because you could love somebody and not like them. You know what I mean? Your siblings getting your fucking nerve and then eat my leftovers and shit, bro. I've been thinking about them all day. You don't come in here and eat my shit? I love you, but I'm being that ass. But yeah, if something, don't intentionally make the relationship sufferable. You know what I mean? But if something happens, maybe your partner's going through major depression, and you gotta kind of step up and do more. You kind of they suffering in their own way, but you also suffering because it's you gotta be the 95% while they give you the 5. Sometimes it's gonna be like that. It's a balance. That's why I think suffering in a relationship and in love is for real. Because you know what I'm saying? Your mom, you do some shit, it hurts, it breaks your mom's heart. A lot of people do some fucked up things. Your mom still love you. You making her suffer a little bit because, you know what I'm saying, she still got to go on it, but your son did this, blah, 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 your daughter did that. But she still love you at the end of the day. So I think a little bit of suffering ain't in a relationship ain't totally bad. You know what I'm saying? Like going back to Jesus and stuff. Like he literally suffered the worst consequence you could have in the name of love for us, for everybody else. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's why I think like suffering is, people look at it as a negative connotation. But if you think about it too, on the same side of the coin, you could either be fat, eat a whole bunch of junk food, be lazy, couch potato all day, suffer. Because now you got all these health problems and shit. Now you mad at the world. Or you go to the gym, you can eat semi-healthy, you know what I'm saying, go on a little cut, suffer, but you suffering towards something. Same thing with a dream. You sacrificing going out to these parties, messing with all these hoes. But it's ultimately the progress. You gain something. You're suffering at the end of the day. So you gonna suffer regardless. But now you just gotta choose what you want to suffer for. Do I want to suffer and just look back a year from now like, damn, I just really lost this last year of my life doing nothing. Like, I barely remember. I was just partying, doing everything else. Or do I want to go suffer, be in the gym, look good as fuck now. Summer's coming around. Body's going to be nice. I could wear these clothes. I stacked my bread up. I wasn't going out. Now I could afford all these type of clothes that I really wanted. Gave me more time to, you know, focus on what my schooling, projects I got going on, investments. You like, ultimately, no matter what the fuck you do, you gonna suffer. You're gonna suffer 100%. You gotta choose your suffering though. You want to break up, right? You might love that person still. Y'all both love each other. You gonna sit down and cry about shit, or you gonna get some shit done? You gonna use that as motivation? Oh yeah, that bitch gonna cheat on me? Say less. Watch it. I'm about to drop 20 pounds, be lean as fuck. You know what I'm saying? Get tatted up, build myself up. Now I'm gonna get a badder bitch. Oh, or that nigga did me dirty? Fuck it. I'm gonna go ahead, you know, get my schooling right. I ain't gonna be crying. I don't got time to be crying over there. We don't got time to be wasting the tears. Yes, you're suffering still because you're hurt, you're heartbroken, but you putting shit into motion. Like, you suffering in the right way. You suffering forward. That's the thing. I think suffering is good, in a lot of instances, but not intentionally suffering. You know what I mean? Like, if somebody makes you intentionally suffer, but you should intentionally make yourself suffer from time to time. Like, if you know you're spending too much time watching TV, stop watching the TV. Start doing, pick up a book. It might suck. You might be like, damn, bro, I can't fucking stand reading. Suffering, right? And you just gotta pick and choose your type of suffering. But I guess too, you could say that like suffering or discipline, but it's the same thing. You're choosing to suffer, and that's discipline, right? Because a lot of people are gonna say like I'm confusing the two. It's kind of the same thing, honestly. Because you need the discipline to suffer. Because no one likes suffering. Suffering is literally like that one word. You're like, oh, that's it. Yeah, poor thing. It's suffering. Take it out of its misery. Nah, like, I think you need to have good and bad suffering. Everyone needs to know the difference. Like, you can't enjoy the good without the bad. Like, fighters, right? They cut weight for fights. They diet crazy, water fast, all this type of bullshit just to weigh 155 for 2 seconds while they weigh in, do a couple pictures, and then the next day they gain back like 20 pounds in just water weight alone. They suffered. But now, when they win the fight, they'll be like, damn, all that suffering was good. You intentionally suffered to make yourself better, to craft your shit, to make everything work how it's supposed to work. You know what I mean? So you have to suffer. But you need the discipline to suffer. Because you're not going to like suffering. That shit is ass. But it's necessary in a lot of certain situations. But in relationship-wise, suffering, I think in love, suffering is supposed to be there too. Cause how I know I'm supposed to be with you if I can't suffer with you? I lost a job. My bank account's low. You know what I'm saying? I'm running on oodles and noodles. How I know how I know you gonna ride with me when if shit doesn't get rough? You know what I'm saying? Everybody loves the yacht. But don't nobody want to be in the water when that shit get deep. See what I'm saying? When that storm hit, hey, they not gonna send you no raft. They gonna watch your asses, try to see if you can make it through. They gonna, let me put a hat to the side so you niggas know for real. Don't nobody want to be with you when the water gets rough. They not even gonna send you no lifeline. They gonna watch to see if you make it. Cause if you can make it, then they gonna fuck with you. then they gonna fuck with you. But a lot of people, they don't want to ride with you. Nah. Why would they ride with you? That shit sucks. They don't want to be in them waters. But then the people that do, that's how you know that's who you gotta rock with. That they choosing to suffer with you instead of watching you drown, suffocate. You know what I'm saying? Like, you need God and you need those type of people. That's why, like, and the people that like that can understand, like, yeah, like, okay, you know, my man don't got the rent this month. Let me go ahead and, you know, hook him up with that. Or, damn, you know, like, I got some extra work. Let me toss some shit, some food to my man's. But, you know what I'm saying? Boom. Let him get the bread and shit like that. Suffering with somebody isn't bad. And I get, like, you know, in a lot of relationships, that's like a lot of people don't like that. Like, it's very stressful. And then y'all trying to both make shit happen. But y'all gotta, you know what I'm saying, lock in. Do this. You have to suffer. You gon' no matter what, you in a relationship, you gonna suffer. You just gotta choose what the suffering is gonna be about. Are we gonna argue and do this shit about petty shit? You gonna try to fight me all the time? Or when shit gets real, like finances, deaths in families, you know what I'm saying, sickness, are we gonna lock in and suffer together and make this shit work? Or are we just gonna suffer on some stupid shit? Like, I'm stressed all day because now I gotta take your iCloud and shit, see who you messaging and all that. But nah, I'm not talking, yeah, no, that's corny. That shit dead, bruh. That toxic shit, cool. They suffering, but they suffering the wrong way too. Cause that shit never, that shit, as you know what, growing up, bro, you know, you used to think that shit was cool. That shit ain't cool, bro. That shit is corny as hell now. That shit, nah, that's the wrong type of suffering. You gotta suffer when shit gets real. That's the suffering. Choosing to be there with somebody. But to be fair, not everybody's meant for marriage though. Or like that type of, you know what I'm saying, like real relationship, because a lot of people is different. Some people want that white dress, the whole big wedding and all that. Some people don't. They just like to rock by themselves. They know themselves. They don't want to do that. Like, I mean, to keep it a buck, in the Bible too, it kind of say that. Don't think I'm lying. Watch this. Cause this is how you know, cause y'all don't read your Bible. Matthew 19 verses 11 and 12. But this is the MSG version. I'm gonna read both so y'all know. Yeah, y'all can see the NIV and shit. But it says, but Jesus said, not everyone is mature enough to live a married life. It requires a certain aptitude and grace. Marriage isn't for everyone. Some, from birth seemingly, never give marriage a thought. Others never get asked or accepted. And some decide not to get married for kingdom reasons. But if you're capable of growing into the largest of marriage, do it. Now I'm gonna read the NIV version. Not everyone can accept his word, but only those whom it has been given. For there are eunuchs who are born that way, and there are eunuchs who have been made eunuchs by others. And there are those who choose to live like eunuchs for the sake of the kingdom of heaven. The one who accepts this should accept it. You know what I'm saying? And that's just going to show, like, a lot of people aren't built for that type of, like, maturity level. Or they just don't do it. It is a lot of risk. It's a big risk. It's a big business risk. And overall, just so much shit factors go into it. So, like, if that's you, that's cool. Like, congrats. But a lot of people don't do it. But you still got to suffer at the end of the day. Say the Bible say it's not good for man to be alone, but not everybody can have that type of life. It's not for everybody. The same way Joe Schmo over there is doing X, Y, and Z, but I'm on ABC. We not on the same wavelength. You know what I'm saying? But all that to say though, just like suffering, I think is just necessary. And maybe, you know what I'm saying, that's a suffering you do. Like, you know, it's a suffering you go home at night knowing you don't got nobody. I know some people like that. They don't want to be in a relationship, but when it comes to that nighttime, they don't fuck with it because they be sad and depressed listening to Juice WRLD and shit. But yeah, bro, I think suffering is needed in the specific ways that I was talking about before, not just like random suffering, like, or intentionally suffering from other person. Cause you got that shit, no cap. But let me know what y'all think, man, in the comments below about suffering. Do you think it's necessary? Do you think it's worth it? Is it even associated with love? I think so. You gotta welcome it. Can't fight that shit. It's inevitable. So, thank y'all for spending this time with me, man. I'm gonna do a few more of these because you know what I'm saying, I'm out here on vacation. But God bless y'all, man. Take care. Hope everybody's doing well on this Saturday. Shout out to y'all, man. Shout out to Leo Skeppy. Thank you for this video idea, brother. Appreciate it. Appreciate y'all for tuning in. Like, comment, subscribe, man. It's free. Free 99. You don't gotta pay for nothing. Yo, listen. It takes 2 seconds, bro. Show some love. Appreciate y'all, man. I'll see you on the next video, man.